Someone did ask last time what your thoughts were on activated carbon clothing. I saw that comment later on after we got off.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Um,
possible way it can work. You even talk. I've talked to the scientists that make activated carbon, people that work in like the cadaver industry. That's where it came from,
mhm.
and they tell you there's no way. The people that are scientifically trained in that stuff, that you can't stop the scent getting through for like a deer. It's not made for that. Um, People compare it to their own noses. They smell it. Like you can spray. Like those guys at the shows, they'll like they'll have you like touch gasoline or something on something, and they'll
Yeah,
spray with that. And see, you can't smell it. Yeah, you can't. You don't smell like a deer a million times stronger than you.
yeah,
It's a difference of like if a skunk sprayed you. You take a rag and wipe it off. You remove some scent, but it ain't going to stop your old lady from detecting skunk when you walk in the door the second you walk in. And deer's noses are so strong that they smell you no matter what. If they get downwind and they know where you're at, it's just fact.
right. Yeah, I work in the feed industry, and they used to use activated carbon to absorb certain things. And I talked to a couple people that I used to work with that were very knowledgeable on, it, and they kind of said the same thing. It wouldn't work good enough to make a make a big difference. But
I
whatever.
watched a crime one time, a live filmed show of these FBI officers after this dude, and
Yeah,
I mean a real show. It's not made up. So they had this guy pinned to a motel room in Texas, and they went down there and surrounded the place
yeah,
and barged in, and he was gone. They got tips that he was there. So then they get the guy that owns the motel out there, and he says, "Well, the guy left 3 days ago. He ran out of money. We told him he had to leave." So they go in there, and the room's been scrubbed clean, and they've been after this guy for murder. So they want him bad. So they go in there, and the room is scrubbed clean. They cleaned it. So they look all over the place. They got all their detectives walking in and out of there and stuff. And then one of the detectives looks in this little garbage can underneath the nightstand by the phone. And in the garbage can, there's one item. It's a Coke can. So he calls in the cleaning lady, and he asks her, "Was that Coke can there when you cleaned?" And she says, "Yeah, it was from the person who was in here." She said, "Typically, we don't throw it out if there's just like one Coke can in there or something. We just leave it in there." It must have been like a crappy place. But
right.
so he puts on rubber gloves, and he takes this Coke can out of the garbage can, and they
Yeah,
bring in a dog, and they have the dog smell the Coke can. Now this is in a city just crowded with people. It's all concrete. People walking up and down these sidewalks. That guy's been gone for 3 days. They have this dog smell that can. That dog follows that guy's scent out of that room, up the sidewalk, around all these people walking up and down the sidewalk, follows them quite a ways, crosses this lawn, gets to a river, crosses the river, goes up this hill, and goes right to a tent where this guy's sleeping in the tent, and they bust him.
it's insane.
Yeah, it is. There was there's what I call the scent control police. Like these scent control companies have people hired that go online, and they try to dispel anybody saying bad things about scent control. They really do. I've ran into them, but they will tell you all kinds of crap about this stuff. But God, I'm losing my mind. There's something I was going to say.
Scent control police.
Yeah, I don't know. Go
Uh,
on. I'll come
yeah.
back to
Anyway, I guess my opinion on of it all is like it doesn't really work for me. I've tried it in years past, but like man, if it makes you feel like you're a better hunter and confident, like throw a stick at it, whatever, you know.
That's what I was going to
Uh,
say. Is that the they stopped these guys from doing a show, or that they actually got them to remove it. But the MythBusters guys
yes.
put a show out, but the scent control people went after them, threatened to sue them, and all kinds of stuff because of the work they did. But what
Yeah.
they did was they got dogs, and they did a study. So they had a guy that was a dirty guy, a clean guy, and a scent control guy. And the dirty guy, they had him work out and stuff, and then not change his clothes or anything. And the clean guy, they had him shower and change his clothes, and clean up with baking soda and wash real nice and stuff. And then the scent control guy, they got instructions from the scent control company and followed their instructions completely to remove all of his scent. And they had these three guys do the same pattern on the same type of landscape. And they did a couple of tests. And one, they put the guy in a enclosed blind where you couldn't see him, and they ran the dogs downwind and timed how long it took the dog when he got down directly downwind to get to find the guy. And in that case, 3 out of 3 times they found a scent control guy first, not last, first. They ran to him first. And then they did the same thing where they did a pattern. They had the same distances, the same turns, and the same terrain, but not the same spot. And they let a tracking dog on the scent. And each time it found the scent control guy first, smelled him down, tracked him down, least number of seconds. And then when they did this, they released a show on it. And the scent control companies went nuts and said, "Oh, he's breaking grass. The dog is smelling broken grass. That's why he's following him." And you didn't do it right. And their big gripe was, you didn't do the scent control right. You had to have his wrist taped so that no scent could get out of the between the glove and the sleeve. You have to have a face mask on. You have to have a head net on. You have to cover his eyeballs. You have to cover his nose. You have to cover all of his hair. So they went through and they did everything. And granted, now they followed the instructions. They had called them and asked them first. And all of a sudden their instructions changed. They had to have every seam taped. Their boot to pants, their pants to shirt, their sleeves to the gloves. They taped every seam. They power washed these dudes, and they cleaned them off with acetone and washed them down, and they baking soda them and all kinds of stuff. And then they covered everything. They taped every seam with scentless tape and all kinds of stuff. They did the test over again and had the exact same results. And the scent control companies threatened to sue them, and they took the shows down. They're only up for a short period. But you cannot beat a deer's nose. You can't. I mean, I've smelled like crap. I come out of machine shops, wearing my uniform, go kill big bucks. I've killed them wearing my work boots that I walk around in oil and crap all day in. If they get downwind or they cross my scent trail, they smell me, they know I'm there. Period. So I'm careful about where I walk and stuff. And quite often I've had them walk across my scent trail when I'm wearing work boots or I'm wearing work clothes. They get downwind of me and they have absolutely no reaction. You bounce milkweed off of them. And different deer, got different temperaments. I've been on managed ranches where 150-inch buck stands 10 yards from your tree, looks at you, sees you in the tree, you drop milkweed right on, and he obviously smells you, and he just keeps eating. And I've had on public land a fawn get a whiff of you and just run like a maniac. So take it for what it's worth, but if scent control matters, I must be a hell of a hunter because I don't use it and I'm killing a lot of good bucks.
Why do you think the dog found the guy using scent control first every time?
It might be because he cleaned up the odor enough that it was pure and not all over the place. I have no idea. But it was first every time, which I found very interesting.
Yeah.
There was the least number of seconds that it tracked him, and it was the least number of seconds for him to get to the guy when it smelled him each time.
Do you think you can, a lot of guys will play the wind, but they still, kind of do all the scent control stuff where they take a shower with scent-free stuff, scent-free deodorant, clothes in a tote. You think that it helps at all, or is it like such a minute help that it's not worth messing with?
You know what I think? I think it helps you because you feel better. I can't stand the smell of perfumes and stuff when I'm out in the woods. I want to smell the woods. You know,
Yeah.
I want a pure natural smell. But that's for me. I wash my clothes in whatever detergent Carol buys. Don't really care.
Yeah.
I think there's something to like the brighteners. You got to watch that crap. But
Yeah.
other than that, the smell wise, I don't think it matters. Matter of fact, my hunting jackets, my hunting vests, my hat, my boots, never get washed. Period.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean,
Yeah.
I had one jacket that I wore. I killed a whole bunch of my biggest bucks in that jacket. It was like a flannel thick jacket that I really
Mm-hmm.
loved. And I literally wore that thing till it fell to pieces, and it was never ever washed. And Carol used to always
Mm-hmm.
complain because she could smell me walking to the house wearing it. And I killed a lot of my biggest bucks wearing that thing.
Yeah. Mm. Need to remake it. Start selling that jacket.
Yeah, it smelled like deer guts. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Hey everybody, if you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.